In the 18th century, horses were far more than a means of transportation. They were essential to everyday life. For civilians, horses carried travellers between towns, hauled goods to market, helped work farms, and connected communities across great distances. A skilled rider could cover in hours what might take days on foot. During times of war, horsemanship became even more important. Mounted soldiers served as scouts, messengers, and cavalry, relying on speed, training, and a strong partnership with their horses. Success often depended as much on a rider's skill as the horse's ability. At our recent 1776 event, horse expert Kaitlyn Ferguson brought Maggie her mare to bring this history to life, supported by Americana Corner and FNM Trust. She demonstrated the horsemanship and riding traditions that were such an important part of 18th century America. And now let's hear from Kaitlyn in her own words.
Hello, so I am Kaitlyn Ferguson. I have a master's degree in history that I got from Shippensburg University. I've had that for a couple years now. For about 20 years, I've been a practicing horseman, or horsewoman, I suppose. So I'm a student of natural horsemanship, which means I can assess any horse, teach any horse that comes my way, whether they're rescues or they're seasoned. So somewhere around my 20s, I fell in love with history, went to college, as I said, and my professors really encouraged me to put the two and two together. Every historian has to have their niche. Maybe mine could be history. And I particularly love our American Revolution and 18th century. So that's what I did. I took up reenacting and I got recruited by some dragoon units, and that's what I've been doing for the past 6 years or so. Horsemanship, so I've always been obsessed with animals, and I discovered horses somewhere around 10 years old and got into 4-H, and thankfully my mother supported me in getting riding lessons, and it all evolved from there. The local place I was getting riding lessons at, they had horses for sale, and eventually I could save up my allowance to buy 2 horses, and I did. And they were hot-blooded boys, as you could say. So I had to learn my horsemanship pretty quick to ride them, train them, etc. And it's one of the things that just sticks with you. It's an art, it's a craft, just like furniture making or blacksmithing. But the benefit about this one is you have an animal who loves on you. That's why I love it more than anything, is you get all this attention from them. Ooh, you want a carrot? Yeah. So you get a best friend out of the deal. And that's why it's the best trade that I'll be doing for the rest of my life. You know, you never age out of horsemanship, not really. Yes, so go ahead and back up, baby. He's an easy go-to, and it's an oldie, an obvious one, but always a goodie, George Washington. So I studied his life from the time he was a wee lad, where he lost his sister, his father, his house burnt down, but he always wanted to try and be a better person, better man. By the time he's in his 20s, he has the French and Indian War, which was a debacle. But throughout his teens and 20s, he kept trying to become a better horseman. He fell in love with horses, pretty much the same way that I did. You get not only the ability to look very strong, masculine, but you also get a good friend out of the deal. And they do make you taller and stronger. So Washington is akin to my heart because of his horsemanship success. And of course, all that he really risked for his generalship in the Revolution. So if he could do that for our generations today, the least I can do is remember him as such.